Section 7.3 gets into a brand new topic that you've never seen before, which is called logarithmic functions. Now, through these slides, I'm going to explain to you what a logarithmic function is. But first of all, I'm going to go back to section 7.1. In section 7.1, you learned that the general form of an exponential function is y equals ab to the x. And we're going to ignore the a part right now. We're just going to talk about y equals b to the x power. And what we're going to do here in the next three sections is we're going to talk about solving for x. Now, in order to solve for x and figure out what any power's value is, you need to have a tool that can solve this. And therefore, we need an inverse. The inverse of an exponential function is called a logarithmic function. Its general form is in the form log base b of y is equal to x. That's its general form. In order to solve an exponential function, you got to use log, because log undoes the exponential part, which you'll see here as we go through the next few sections. But this is the general form, and what we're going to do is we're going to practice writing inverses in this particular section. If you need to pause the video, please do, otherwise I'm going to go to the next slide. All right, here we have y equals b to the x power, and it says find its inverse. Well, remember from the last section, to find its inverse, we need to switch x and y around, and then we need to solve for y. Well, in order to solve for y, basically, as we just wrote in the last slide, what you're going to do is you're going to take the log base b of x is equal to the power y. The power goes there. The base b always goes there. And the x part, or what it equals, goes there. Now, I would write that down. Again, maybe I'm going to write it down one more time over here with all my arrows so that you know how to write inverses. The base b goes there. That's the base part. The exponent part goes right there. That's the exponent. And the solution, what it equals, oops, I'm sorry. I got to go back. There's my issue. Sorry. I got to do this again. Got to put a y there. The exponent part goes there. That's better. And then the x part goes here. Just like that. That's what I would write in your notes. I would write that with the arrow so you can convert an exponential function to a log function. All right, so let's practice. It says, write each exponential function as a log function. Well, here I have 10 squared equals 100. I believe you all know 10 squared equals 100. Now, again, if I was going to write this, if I'm going to change my exponential function to a log function, as we just did just a second ago, I'm going to write it down here at the bottom. The base b goes there. The exponent becomes the answer, and what it equals is the big number in the log function. So if I do this right, here is my base b. So I'm going to write log base 10. The 2 becomes the answer, and then the 100 part is the big number right here. And there you go. I just converted my exponential function to a log function. Now I want you to do number 2. Pause the video and write it out. All right, here we go. If I'm going to write this as a log function, I put the word log in there. 3 is my base. That's my little number, my subscript right there. X becomes my answer. My exponent is my answer. That's what I'm trying to figure out. And then 81 is the big number that goes right here. And there you go. That's how you convert exponential functions to log functions. Now let's go the other way. I have log base 2. I have log base 2. I got to change this around. Log base 2 of 32 is equal to 5. All right, well, the base, if I'm going to write it as an exponential function, becomes the big number. What it equals, the answer, becomes my power. And then this big number here is after the equal sign. And there you go. That's how you write it exponentially. I believe that you all agree that 2 to the 5th power is equal to 32. All right, pause the video and do number 2. All right, if you pause the video and did number 2 correctly, the base B is the big number. What it equals is the power. And 243, the big number in the log function, becomes the answer to your exponential equation. 3 to the x power equals 243. Now, if we wanted to evaluate that, how do you evaluate this? Well, on your calculator, what this is the log of the big number divided by the log of the little number. And that will tell you what x is. And I bet you'd find out real soon that x would be equal to 5 if you did this. That is called the change of base. When you do that, that's called the change of base formula, and you're going to see that on your assignment. All right, last. Let's do some mental math. Let's see if we understand what we're doing. Letter A. What's the answer to log base 4 of 64? Well, what you really need to think is in your own mind, what you need to think is 4 to what power is 64? That's what it's asking you when you see this. Well, hopefully you all know the answer is 3. 4 times 4 times 4. Okay, do the second one. Log base 8 of 1 is equal to what? Well, hopefully you think 8 to what power is 1? Well, the only thing that can make anything equal to 1 as a power is the number 0. Last, you're going to see things like this a lot, where the base and this number are the same. Log base 7 of 7 or log base 9 of 9. Well, that's asking you 7 to what power is 7? Well, if these two numbers here are the same, the answer is always 1. And there you go. That's logarithmic functions. If you have questions, please ask me during class.